What's up? I'm Jesse Vargas with Urban Nest Realty. Today we are finishing up the final 3 model homes here at Venetia Townhomes being built by Lennar Homes. So these homes have the elevation that they call Prairie Range. You can see it's a nice stone exterior. One thing I really love about these townhomes too is they all pretty much have a balcony going on at some vicinity of the property. So let's go in and take a look at these. Also, make sure you stick around because there is a NextGen suite on one of these that is awesome. So we are at the Fletcher floor plan, 1,759 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Let's go see it. Nice entry area. It's nice and wide. You don't feel cramped walking into the house, but it opens up into a nice open floor plan. Kind of one of those small L shapes that I like to talk about. So you have the kitchen as the center with offshoots to the living room and dining room. This countertop you can see extends all the way to the wall, which is great for storage space, for having some additional appliances, your coffee maker, etc. But also just as far as like if you're prepping up food, there's plenty of space here. Unfortunately, no cookbooks. I like to steal my recipes from the cookbooks at model homes. None at this model home site so far, but hopefully something later on. With this first one today, we're seeing something a little different that we didn't have in the first 3 models that we toured, and that is a door that goes outside, somewhat of a small backyard. So let's go take a look at that too. Not a huge space by any means, but when we're talking about townhouses, you know, we're not trying to have a bunch of maintenance going on. This is nice to have a little bit of space, some artificial turf, pavers, but it's not something that's gonna be daunting to take on as far as an upkeep maintenance type of situation. One of the great things about this kitchen is it does have a pantry. It's a little bit different. You step in and it goes really deep, far back here. So there is some extra storage space for you. So let's head upstairs, check out that area. Also right here we have half bath. Really important to have a half bathroom downstairs for your guest. I was at some D.R. Horton model homes not too long ago. Didn't have a half bath downstairs, so you would have to have your guests going upstairs. Important to have that. Let's go upstairs, see what we got. So up here on the 2nd floor, I think one of the biggest points about this particular model is how this loft is set up. It's very open. Even though you have the bedrooms separated, you got secondary on one side, primary suite on the others, it doesn't feel very separated. A lot of times you'll have like a long hallway that will separate the two. This loft kind of makes it feel almost like communal living, like everyone's out in the open together. Yes, you do have your own bedrooms, but it feels very much like a shared space. That being said, let's head on over to the primary suite. One of the best features of the community as a whole has been all of the balconies. So it seems like every unit's gonna have a really nice balcony, and this one in particular I would say is pretty wide and long, so gives you plenty of space out there. You can have a sitting area. I like to wake up in the morning, have some coffee. This would be a great spot to kind of relax and enjoy before you start the day. And on this side, we have the 2 secondary bedrooms. We have the secondary full bathroom as well as the laundry room. As I'm coming out of these secondary bedrooms, I wanted to take a look at the size because on the last video we did with the first 3 models, we noticed they were some really well-sized secondary bedrooms. These ones are a little bit smaller, still not, terrible, but something to keep in mind if those secondary bedrooms are really important for you size-wise. But we still have 2 more models to go, so we could see if maybe a couple of the other floor plans today have larger sized secondary bedrooms. So we're gonna skip Franklin and save that one for last. Let's go into the Finley. And this one's a 2 bedroom, so it's got 2 primary suites essentially upstairs. Remember, there's 3 other model homes that aren't on this video. Go check those out. And also in the description, I've got a bunch of tools for you to be able to utilize whether you're looking to purchase or sell a home. Go ahead, scroll down and take a look at those as well. So this is the Finley, 1,695 square feet. It is the smallest of the 6 floor plans that they have here at Venetia. Pretty similar to some of the other setups we've seen downstairs, with that L where you have the kitchen set up in the center and direct lines of sight to the living room, and then a small space for a dining room table. Something I want to point out too is on the cabinetry. So you'll notice in all of these models there isn't any hardware on them. I would definitely suggest getting some sort of a hardware on these types of cabinets, because where you go to open these up, eventually it's gonna wear down just from your hand going to the same place. So you'll see wear spots sometimes on cabinetry. We've said with Lennar before is most everything that you see is included. They're pretty good about not going too over the top on what the upgrades they do in the models are. But one thing for sure is you'll wanna find out about the flooring. What's most typical with Lennar Homes is that it's gonna be a basic carpet in most of the areas except for the wet areas. So like the kitchen would be a laminate flooring, so would be the bathroom areas. Continuing, we'll make our way upstairs. There is a pretty standard half bathroom here. We've got a closet that extends all the way in under the stairway with some pantry space. And then we'll head upstairs and see what we got going on here. I don't know about this TV tray thing they got going on, but you could be eating your fried chicken, but still exercising it. It's balance, right? You need balance in life. Awesome balcony, incredible views at this point. We'll touch on that in a second. Over here is, so we got 2 primary suites essentially. Let's go in and check the first one. The bathrooms I've noticed pretty similar throughout all 6 of the models. You can even go back and check the first 3 that we did in the other video, but very similar throughout. Nice sized closets for sure. So while we're in this floor plan, we're pressed right up against the Inspirada Town Center. You see this empty lot. Right now we have this amazing view of the Las Vegas Strip. You can see the Raiders practice facility, mountains, but eventually there's gonna be something that fills into this dirt. Right around the corner, we have a commercial space with the whiskey bar, Breakfast Junkies restaurant, library, all those sorts of things, and I would expect something similar is gonna be right here. Right behind that, you see a wide open space. That's gonna be the Inspirada Resort. We did a video on how this Inspirada Resort is gonna potentially make this very similar to Green Valley Ranch, which has been a prominent community in Henderson for many, many years. So you're gonna be right amongst some high-end dining, shops, restaurants, a whole bunch of commercial spaces. You just have to determine if you want to be this close to it or if you maybe want a lot that's further into the neighborhood. So coming over to the other side, we have the laundry closet. Let me tell you, these doors are actually a really good use of space. The other way this is sometimes done is with these sliding accordion doors. They end up not giving you full access to the laundry closet area, and honestly, they pretty much fall apart in any house I've ever seen with them. So having the actual doors is really a functionality saver, and also saves some headaches down the road. So here's the next primary suite. This one's gonna feature a balcony as well. And this is a really nice long balcony here, plenty of space. At the moment, we have some nice mountain views. All of the bedrooms are set up with the electrical to put in a light or a ceiling fan, which is really a plus because not all home builders include that in the base price of their homes, so that can sometimes be an additional charge. With these Lennar Townhomes, it's included. So last but not least, we have the Franklin floor plan, 1,858 square feet, featuring the NextGen suite downstairs, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath. Let's go take a look. But the entryway is actually a really important point because they have the NextGen suite. So you'd actually come in from your garage right here, and then there's 2 front doors. One to the NextGen suite, and then we got one over into the main part of the house. Let's go into the NextGen suite first. So when you have 2 grown adults that need separate living spaces, this is probably going to be the most popular of the options here at Venetia, because you have a full living space, kitchen space. You're just missing out on a cooktop, which you would go upstairs for, and that's just due to building code. They can't have the stove in one of these dwelling units. So over here we've got the bedroom, bathroom. You've got everything you need in this space, and it's nice and separated from the rest of the house. Let's check out the main part of the house. So we've got under the stairs, and then take you outside. It's right to where we would have come out from the NextGen suite. So everything is gonna be upstairs. We've got kitchen, plenty of space for the dining room. It's one open space, so you can kind of configure it as you want. It's nice to have some seating at the island as well for an extra dining space. So one thing with these Lennar Homes is that they come wired ready for you to hang your TV up on the wall. They've got it set up nice and easy for you to be able to do that. We've got the laundry room and full bath here. Followed by the secondary and primary suites. So this room's 10 by 10. It's gonna be the smallest sized room that we have, but as a secondary, it could also be perhaps an office, a little reading space, whatever you want it to be. The real focus of this is to have the 2 primary suites. So you have the NextGen one downstairs and then this one upstairs coming up. So we've got a small balcony off of this primary suite. Nothing too large, but again, when you don't have too much yard space, this is a nice access point to get outside, get some fresh air. This neighborhood has an HOA of about $175 per month. And one thing to keep in mind is, although we're in the Inspirada Town Center area, we're not actually a part of the Inspirada Master Plan HOA. So you do have access to all of the parks and recreation that's going on around here that's managed by City of Henderson. Inspirada has their own pools that are for the Inspirada residents only. This neighborhood of Venetia will have its own pool, so you don't really even miss out on very much by not being a part of that Inspirada master plan. But again, it's $175 a month. It'd be maintenance for that pool that I mentioned here, some of the exterior features as well. Thanks for joining me on the tour. There's tons of development happening right now in Inspirada, so whether you're interested in purchasing a brand new home or townhome, even a resale home, I'd be happy to help out. Give me a call. Do me a favor and click like, subscribe. Thanks again for joining. See you on the next one. Later.